Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've been doing a bit of thinking and I want to start posting on here more regularly, and I might start doing these really chill videos, not much editing, just like quick summaries straight after I've read a book. I've just finished the selection series like a few days ago, and while it's fresh in my mind, like I want to update you now on what I thought of it. So I'm going to start doing these videos, just like short ones, updating you on what I thought of books like just after I read them. But yeah, so let's start with the selection. I've got my cup of green tea and I've got a few notes that I made like while I was reading it. This is just going to be like overall thoughts and opinions. I'll give a little description to start with, but then I will be talking about it a bit more in depth, so there will be spoilers. But just in case you haven't read it, this is what it's about briefly. It's set in like a futuristic kind of society or a different world where everyone is split into castes. These castes are numbered, and depending on whether you're a 1 down to an 8 depends where you are in the hierarchy of the society. And basically, ones are at the top, and the Prince Maxon, is about to have a selection where he invites lots of girls from each different town to come and compete to be his bride. And this girl, America, is from a lower caste. She's a 5, and she gets picked even though she didn't even want to enter it in the first place. And then you're watching her like go up against these other girls to try and be Prince Maxon's next bride, even though she's like not bothered. But that's just the basic story. But now I'm going to get into what I thought about it and the different characters and stuff. So to start off with, I had read the first book years and years ago, but I couldn't remember like a single thing about it, so I'm kind of counting this as like the first time that I read it. Basically, I must have not really enjoyed it as much last time because I only gave it a 3 on Goodreads, I think, and I didn't bother carrying on with the rest of the series. But this time I actually enjoyed it more. Like, I'd give it like a 4. I knew it was going to be a love triangle book, and I didn't mind that, but it ended up being that she ends up with Prince Maxon, and I wasn't like fully invested in that like over Aspen, and I always want to be really like passionate about the person that she does end up with, and I wasn't even in the next like duet of books, the 4th and 5th ones. I was still half wanting her to be with Aspen, and it was so annoying because I like couldn't just enjoy the books because I was thinking like, oh, what about Aspen? Anyway, yeah, so I enjoyed like the tension when he was in the castle at the same time as her, and like he turns up unexpectedly, and I enjoyed all that. But I felt maybe I should kind of go through it a bit more chronologically. So I really enjoyed the fact that like the whole way through she was trying to do good for the society. Like, she was actually trying to make improvements. She was like, while I'm here, I'm going to try and give him some suggestions on how the caste system could change and that kind of thing. And like the fact that she stood up for her maids, like when they were under attack and she took them down into the safe room. I really liked all that. That made me really like her character. I feel like I can get really invested in a character who's like trying to do good for the world. So I was like rooting for that. Oh my god, I was rooting for her then. And like when she stood up for Marley, when Marley got whipped and those kind of things, like I love, like obviously that was a horrible scene, but like I love a scene where a friend is just like fully standing up for another friend, like standing up for what's right. But I was really confused, Marley, that's another thing actually with her character, when she was like, oh, being a bit weird, she was like, oh, I'm not sure about him, but like I can't really tell you why. And I'd like not remembered this from the first time that I read it, like that she liked one of the guards. So I was like, does she like one of the girls? Like, I was kind of rooting for that to be a thing. But yeah, and I was so glad that she ended up being safe and looked after. And sorry, I need to actually sit up and like mind my posture. But yeah, that she actually ended up being in the castle. Like when Maxon goes and takes America to the princess suite and then Marley is there, I was like, that was just like lovely. Like, I love that. So I think that was kind of like the first book. The second book, I just feel like they were getting attacked all the time, which was obviously like part of it, but I don't know, I just felt like that was a lot. And then also Chris, I just feel like her relationship with Maxon came out of nowhere, and I was like, what the hell is this? It's like we hadn't even seen the little seeds of maybe that growing. It was just like bam, like now he's interested in Chris. And I was like, I don't know, I was not enjoying that at all. I was so confused where that came from, and it was just annoying me. And then when she saw him with Celeste as well, I know it all gets explained. With Celeste, he didn't really have proper feelings and stuff, but I guess that's the point of the selection. It was meant to date like multiple girls, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, when you're fully for the main character, and I didn't want to be seeing him like messing her around, even though she was back and forth. That was one thing about the series. I felt like it was very back and forth. There was so much miscommunication between them, which could have easily been solved. So in that sense, it was like a bit childish. It was quite a few times where I was like, oh, they really could have just sorted this out by just talking. And I do get that it was kind of written for a younger audience than me, but I was like, is this saying a very good example for people about, you know, just blowing up over the smallest things and then not sorting it out, and it being like weeks and weeks before they actually sorted it out. I don't know. There was just a lot of back and forth, and it did start to make both of them a bit annoying. It was kind of impressive how they strung it out over 3 books, but I think by the end I was like ready by the end of the 3rd book for like her to make him to make his choice. That was enough by then. What else happened in the 2nd book? Oh, she stood up to the king with like her presentation about the casts. Thought that was good. Loved that. Because we don't care about the king. He was a dick. Found out about him with him and Maxon. Yeah, I feel like that was kind of the end. Then it was on to the 3rd book. 3rd book, there was less cute moments, and they're my favourite bits, you know. I just felt like they didn't have very much time together, and it just made me less enthusiastic about their relationship. I think that's why I wasn't so invested in Maxon, why I still had lingering feelings for Aspen, like, oh, maybe she should go with him. You know, I was like torn between the two still. I wasn't fully rooting for Maxim because we'd just seen less of them. There was still a lot of them like arguing and stuff, which was just getting annoying. Oh yeah, the rebels wanted the truce, and then they went to see them. Then she got injured. I think doing more stuff like outside, going out to meet with the rebels and stuff would have been quite good if they'd have had more of that. I really like the fact that the girls, though, started to bond in this book. The fact that the girls weren't against each other anymore. They were kind of like developing their friendship. I really enjoyed that part of it. Oh, and I loved when she gave up her jewellery to save the guy, because I was thinking, I was like, there's some way that the author has got to twist this so that she comes out on top. Like, she's still a good protagonist, you know? And I thought it was clever about how she did it. I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and then her dad dies. That was really sad. And finding out he was a rebel as well. I didn't really expect that. That kind of came out of nowhere. But yeah, that was sad. That could have been like developed more, her link to the rebels and stuff. The book ended kind of without going too much into that. Like, I know obviously the rebels supported her and stuff, but yeah, could have done more there. La la la. Oh, when he found out about Aspen, well, I mean, like, we'd been waiting like 2.5 books for this, so I was ready for this confrontation, and it didn't disappoint. Yeah, then we had like the big battle scene at the end when the rebels came in. As soon as she said some comment about how the rebels looked or how the guards looked, and I was like, I bet they've been infiltrated. Like, I saw that come in. But yeah, what a way to end. And then I went straight on to the 4th and 5th one, so I didn't even kind of consider that as a separate duet, and probably should have left a bit of time because it was weird to go straight from them to their daughter. But yeah, in the 4th and 5th one, it's their daughter that's the princess who's having the selection, which I enjoyed it being that way around, actually. And I thought she was, I don't mind when the main character is a difficult character. Like, she was hard to like at first, but it was something a bit different from the first few books. I loved Henry. Oh my god, I just loved Henry. And I didn't mind Kyle as well. There was actually a lot of them that I was like, I like really like you. But that's why this one was hard as well. I was never completely satisfied with who they ended up with in any of the books, because in the 4th and 5th one, she ends up with a translator, which was a cute twist. Like, that was cute. but there hadn't been enough moments with just them two throughout the books for me to believe it. That's what I felt like. Like I could have easily been swayed if it had turned out she was actually going to marry Henry or she was actually going to marry Kyle. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think I wanted there to be more cute moments with them leading up to the end so that it made like perfect sense. Because there was a couple of times where she was like, I thought of someone, like I knew who I thought of being like the person that she loved, and I was still confused. I was like, could it be any of these? So yeah, but I was nervous going into it because Goodreads was slating the 4th and 5th books. People weren't happy, and so I was like, oh god, like do I even bother? But I'm glad I did. I didn't enjoy them like any less. And I loved in that one how all the boys became friends as well. I thought that was very cute. But yeah, I didn't hate her because like I could see her reasoning when she came in and like got rid of loads of them all at once, because you know she thought that she was doing good things. And yeah, I could see how she was just a misunderstood character. Yeah, overall I did really enjoy the series. Actually, I got through them so quick, and I think I would have enjoyed them even more when I was younger. High school, secondary school age, I would have absolutely loved them then, like devoured them. But yeah, I still really, really enjoyed them. And yeah, I just wanted this to be like my quick thoughts and feelings, initial opinions straight after reading it while it's fresh in my mind. And that's what I'm going to do for more books like, as I'm going along. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!